I guess my first introduction to fashion was when I was in middle school and I saw Project Runway for the first time. And I know it's like a bit cliche, but I just thought it was really exciting and fun. So I just told my mom, I was like, Mommy, can I have a sewing machine for Christmas? And so she got it for me and it kind of took off from there. Hi, I'm Brandon Wen. I'm 26. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, and I just finished my studies in the Royal Academy in Antwerpen in Belgium. And now I'm designing and doing my own thing in Paris, France. I'm currently working for Rick Owens and Michelle Lamy, and what I really like about what they're doing right now is that it is introducing color and different elements that weren't there before that kind of lean on the more ostentatious. The way in which I'm designing and the way in which I go about my daily practices, that I think is where sustainability can really be integrated into fashion. You have all this leftover fabric that just gets thrown away and really isn't useful for anything, you know? And so how can we use that fabric? And I've made different like surface textiles and techniques that had different fabrics that have been pieced together and sort of like patched together, if that makes sense. So my personal style and my designs, it's a bit difficult sometimes for me to describe because most of the time I'm just going off of a feeling. Like I watch a lot of TV and I love cartoons and I love this sort of fantastical animation, and so my work normally has some sort of graphic intensity and lots of color and lots of fantasy, and it is sort of bridging this gap between like fantasy and reality that's like sort of where I live, I think. Where I find inspiration is always quite mundane, and that's one of the reasons I love going to the movies. It's an experience that allows me to just totally immerse in what you're seeing, because it's dark and you feel like your senses are all blocked off except for the ones you need for the film. Like this is a movie I saw very recently that was incredibly impactful, but I think it kind of has the same graphic elements and like what I like to call explosive fantasy. So I like to have that always around me and up. And so for me, the goal and like the life dream is to be at a point where I can be creating all sorts of different types of stuff and not be limited to one sort of form. I always say that when I feel my best, I feel like I'm flying, if that makes sense. It's like when you listen to a really good song and it just lifts you in whichever way you need to be lifted. And that's sort of what I hope happens with my clothing. When you make clothes, you're essentially sharing yourself and your wardrobe with other people. And so for me, it's sharing that feeling with other people, if I can.